everyone, this is Dawn, and today I'm at St. Anthony's in Groton, and I thought as we'll be resuming public masses with just 10 people, I thought each of Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday this week we would take a little bit of look at the history of each of our three parishes. Just some of it you may already know, some of it this may not be your parish, and so you'll find out a little bit more. And so here we are today. We had Mass this morning, and it was wonderful to be able to be with just a few people, but to celebrate and to receive the Eucharist. I just don't have words for it. So anyhow, so this is St. Anthony's, and originally I have a little bit of history written down because I wouldn't remember it. So the parish itself can trace its roots back to the 1860s and 1870s, where it was small immigrant families lived in the area here and in McLean. And so in the 60s and 1860s and 70s, a priest from Ithaca would come and say masses in people's homes in our area occasionally, maybe, probably not even once a month. And so I think we right now have some sort of idea of what that must have been like. But in 1824, a local newspaper had an article about St. Anthony celebrating their Golden Jubilee, because the parish was formed in 1874. And so it said, "The golden anniversary of St. Anthony Church was celebrated last Friday, the 13th of June, 1924, on the feast day of St. Anthony of Padua. A golden jubilee indicates a celebration of 50 years in some departments of life. In this case, it describes the history of this little church in the village of Groton. Its beginnings was small, as at that time very few Catholics were in this vicinity. What few there were came from foreign shores with limited means, but brought with them their faith and wanted a place to worship God and spread the faith that was in them." That's a lovely sentiment. So, as I said, the foundation of the parish was a priest that would go to people's houses. But in, 1873, Father Lynch of Ithaca, he began the construction of the church building down in the village of Groton, and it was completed in 1874. Much of the labor was donated by its parishioners, which I can say that sentiment continues today, on to today. Much of the labor here is done by the people of the parish. Initially, St. Anthony's here in Groton and St. Patrick's in McLean were missions of Immaculate Conception in parish in Ithaca. And Father Charles Horan was appointed as St. Anthony's first resident pastor on August 1st, 1875. Later, in 1876, Father McManus, who was the pastor of the combined missions of St. Anthony's and St. Patrick's, he had a rectory and a barn built and purchased the cemetery for the Groton parish. Eventually, St. Anthony's became an independent parish, and St. Patrick's in McLean was later incorporated into Holy Cross in Dryden. So that's referring to the building that was in the town of Groton, in the village, and so the current building of St. Anthony's, the church and the parish center and the rectory, they were completed and dedicated on October 26, 1875, and that's where we are today. And so I'll conclude this video with just a few pictures that I found, just a very few, but just to remind us of our history, that we are connected in this day, but we're grateful for the people that came before us, that provided structures for us so that we can celebrate liturgy, and we hope that we can be those same people for people in future generations. Have a good day.